Right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, a teenager arrested, accused of shooting one of the 11 victims at a downtown party.
I'd like to see him charged honest truth as an adult.
And tonight, always watching, the cameras in one local town that helped track down a stolen car with a toddler inside.
Another weather first, weather alert as the potential of flash flooding appears to be increasing over parts of our area once again tonight.
Here we go again for a third night in a row. Storms are moving towards the region. The heaviest bands are expected to hit areas already waterlogged. Good evening. I'm Ann Allred. Mike Bush has the night off. Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking it all for us. Scott.
You know, we're in our weather alert tonight, not in a storm alert just yet, because we're not sure exactly how this is all going to pan out tonight. But we want you to be on heightened alert that we could have some problems overnight and especially towards early tomorrow morning. Right now, things are fairly quiet around the St. Louis area. We're looking basically at this disturbance coming in from western Missouri. We've had a few showers drifting across mid-Missouri, but it's really in the next 2 to 3 hours when things will start to perk up here off to our west. Generally near and maybe just south of Columbia, things will get going here heading into the late night hours and especially into the 4, 5, and 6 o'clock time frame early tomorrow morning. So as we just kind of time things out with our very latest futurecast, this is a high resolution guidance. You see those showers and storms bubble up. It's very late tonight and towards daybreak tomorrow when we see that action. Now, unfortunately, any heavy rainfall, it wouldn't take as much as it would have yesterday to create flooding because we had all of that last night. Some spots getting 5 to 6 inches of rain. Well, those areas southwest and south of St. Louis in that flood watch as we go through the overnight hours into early tomorrow morning. So I think for the next 2 or 3 hours we're fine, but then overnight showers and storms will be developing. Most of the rain will be to the south and southwest of St. Louis. And again, locally heavy rain will be in there. There'll be some downpours and maybe even a few gusty breezes out of some of those thunderstorms, especially south and southwest of St. Louis. And then we have more weekend storm chances heading.
Tonight, flooding on the Big River is an issue at St. Francis State Park near Bonne Terre. The campsites are closed through Monday. Flooding concerns are also closing down campsites at Merrimack State Park in Franklin County until further notice. Tonight, more than 4,000 Ameren, Missouri customers are in the dark after last night's round of severe weather. 70-mile-per-hour winds went through the Farmington area, knocking down trees, power lines, and a traffic light. And a close call for a family in Bonne Terre after a giant tree came crashing down in their yard. It came within just a few feet of bedrooms where children were sleeping. No one was hurt. The tree crushed the garage, ripped down power lines, and caused damage to a deck, fencing, and a pool. Storms and heavy rain also caused damage in the Metro East. Skylens 5 flew over this cornfield in Madison County. You can see the crop is heavily damaged. This is off Pogue Road, not far from the SIUE campus. Developing tonight, St. Louis police are investigating a deadly shooting in North City. Investigators say a woman was found with a gunshot wound to her head near Planned Industrial Drive and Stratford Avenue. They believe the shooting happened elsewhere. The woman was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Tonight, a teenager is in custody on an assault charge in connection to the deadly mass shooting on Washington Avenue. 1 teen was killed, 11 others were hurt at a downtown building back on June 18th. New tonight, the father of the teen who died is sharing his reaction to the new developments with our Robert Townsend. Robert.
Hey there, Ann. You know, today I told Daryl Moore about the arrest in this case. Now, Moore says right now he's still processing it all. However, he is extremely clear about what he thinks should happen to that teen police arrested.
I really miss him.
Not a day goes by that Daryl Moore doesn't sit on his front porch and think about his son, Mikhail Moore.
Man, I miss everything about him, man. Him just calling me, him getting my nerves, him asking me, send him $10 on cash out.
On June 18th, Moore let Mikhail go to a party with a friend at an office building in downtown St. Louis.
My understanding, it's supposed to have been a graduation party.
Police say around 1 a.m., gunfire rang out on the 5th floor and sent dozens of teenagers running for their lives. 17-year-old Mikhail shot several times, didn't make it out. He died.
Some days I be angry, man. Some days I be just crimes. I just want to know why. KO wasn't perfect, you know. I ain't gonna make him seem like he was an angel or he was the, you know what I'm saying? But he was mine.
11 teenagers were hurt that night. Police say on Wednesday they took a 16-year-old into custody in Bell Fountain Neighbors in North County. He's accused of shooting one of the victims and was taken to the St. Louis County Juvenile Detention Center.
I'd like to see him charged, honest truth, as an adult.
Meantime, this devastated dad wears a necklace with a picture of his son.
He was like 8 years old on this picture.
And patiently waits for Mikhail's killer to be caught.
Not only when you kill a person, you're killing their whole family, man. You're taking away from everybody.
Now, police say they're still investigating this case and looking for others, including the 5 gun-toting teens you see in this photo. Moore also tells me he's now undergoing counseling for depression after losing his son. Live downtown, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Tonight, new laws are in place to strengthen gun laws in St. Louis City. Late this afternoon, Mayor Tashara Jones signed new open carry restrictions into law. It regulates open carry in the city, banning people from openly carrying or displaying firearms unless they have a concealed carry permit. You have to be at least 19 years old to have a conceal and carry permit. St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy plans to discuss enforcement tomorrow. Tonight, a St. Louis area man who cyber-stalked and terrorized women across the country for years is heading to federal prison. A judge sentenced Robert Merkel to nearly 6 years in prison for his crimes. He is accused of threatening women online that he would rape and kill them. Merkel pleaded guilty last month to federal charges as a prior and persistent offender. His sentence, it's almost a year more than his plea agreement recommended. His victims say it's not enough.
And so though I am grateful, it's just, one ripple in change that needs to happen.
The type of torment that it causes is significant, and the legislature needs to realize the severity of the crime and pass laws to hold offenders accountable.
Missouri lacks laws on cyber stalking. It's something our I-team uncovered when we began reporting on Merkel years ago when he went to prison the first time for similar crimes. Last month, Governor Mike Parson vetoed a bill which included a task force for cyber crimes. New tonight, St. Anne police are touting license plate readers and flock cameras once again, this time for getting a young child safely back into his mother's arms. Laura Barczewski is live at the Quick Trip off St. Charles Rock Road and Lindbergh to explain. Laura.
And this all happened so fast. St. Anne police say if it weren't for these flock license plate readers, they wouldn't have caught this car along with the person in it and the child inside as quickly as they did.
It all started here at this St. Anne Quick Trip on St. Charles Rock Road, where St. Anne police say a man drove off in his girlfriend's red Dodge Challenger with her 4-year-old son inside.
There was a domestic dispute between him and his girlfriend at the time.
After leaving the gas station just seconds later, police got another 911 call reporting the same vehicle had crashed into another car and left the scene of the accident. But this time, they had a license plate number.
We were able to plug that into the flock camera system, which we utilize, and our dispatch was able to give us recent locations as to where that had hit based on the LPR cameras.
She's talking about a network of license plate readers that look like this, giving them the latest location of the car with the child inside.
You all right, little man?
Near Natural Bridge and Goodfellow.
They located the vehicle, conducted a stop with it after they chased it for about a minute in a pursuit. I think he was going about over 100, 120 at the time, and then he decided to pull over.
I didn't flee from you.
That's where they arrested the man just 5 minutes after the first 911 call, showing all of these tools worked exactly as they were supposed to.
For such a small child to be involved in such a, high-risk situation, it feels great to be able to have such a great solution to this.
Come here.
Detective Lieutenant Monica Rellis says she was able to personally reunite the boy with his mom.
What's your name?
Rellis says while the license plate number helped, these cameras can look at the whole picture to help solve crimes, even across state lines.
It captures details of the vehicle that other cameras might not, or maybe don't record, right? So it captures details such as the rim colors, the fender colors. I think these cameras are essential.
So the St. Anne Police Department is now looking into adding more of these cameras to their city because they've seen just how big of a difference they can make. Reporting live in St. Anne, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
For the third time in months, former President Trump entered a not guilty plea, this time in a D.C. federal courtroom. Mr. Trump was arraigned on 4 felony charges today. Those charges include conspiring to defraud the government and seeking to overturn the 2020 election. The former president is accused of spreading lies about a stolen election, which culminated in the January 6th Capitol attack. A defiant Trump spoke after court.
When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America.
Trump's legal team says his claims are protected under the First Amendment. The former president also faces trials in New York and Florida ahead of his 2024 presidential campaign. An historic hospital in South St. Louis will soon shut its doors. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, South City Hospital has notified the state of its plans to close the 178-bed facility. No date was given, but the emergency room will be closed effective tomorrow. The former St. Alexius Hospital has served the Dutchtown neighborhood for more than 150 years.